Hello, dear viewer. This is Kali. And today we're going to make some quarky things. We're going to build with quarks. That's what we're going to do. We're going to build with quarks. Yes, you may or may not have watched one of my previous videos about particles. Think something about particles. I can't remember what it's called right now, but something about particles. And it was my version. And it showed, I drew particles as sort of like a 6.6. Then I was like, for charges and stuff, okay? But I think the three-dimensional nature and how sensible that turns out to be, sort of thing, is much more evident when I build these proper structures. So here, this is going to be an up quark. Okay, this is an up quark, two charges, two positive charges. This is the blue. I do blue for positive. I don't know what standards are, like I would care, but blue for positive and yellow for negative. Okay, so we're going to build, first let's build a proton. Okay, so we will take two up quarks and a down quark. There we go. Okay, and we just like smush these together, and usually they just show you this like two ups, two U's, and a D, which I just despise as an educator. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? Because, you know, we live in this three-dimensional universe. So I think, like, why don't we make it like three axes like this? And that would be a really like sensible kind of structure for, you know, existing in a three-dimensional universe, three axes. But we have this left over. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this and go, and then I'm going to do a magic thing where that disappears. And instead in my hand is a green ball. I took the yellow and the blue and mushed it together with a green ball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this green ball in the middle because it's the only one. So I'm going to go like that, poop, and I'm going to make a proton. There we go. And that is what you make. Okay? And this is what a proton would look like from this model. And you will notice that the chromodynamics, maybe we'll get to that. Okay? You don't need that. The whole thing about chromodynamics was about these three colors and balancing three colors, and things fall apart if they don't have all three colors. How about it's just like three axes? Because we live in a three-dimensional universe. So you have to have three axes to last, because otherwise you're not well balanced. You know, so this would be a proton because it was two ups, and a down. And I took this and went like this and made a positron. And I took these two pieces, a electron-ish and a bit of a proton, and smushed them together, but still made a bit of light out of it, because this is what you need to make light, positron and electron. And I smushed it together to make some light, but I spun that light into a circle and went, and now we have a proton. A mass unit in the middle, the photon of 2 pi Planck length frequency trapped over its own gravity. And then, because this is making a dent in space, you end up having a positive charge around it from the condensation of space. Now you have a proton. Okay, so there's a proton. Now, if you take a proton in theory and you take an electron, this is what an electron would be, because it has three axes of charge in all directions, right? And you took this and smushed this into this, you'd get a neutron. But if we wanted to build a neutron from scratch, the quark way of building a neutron, let's put that out of the way, is 1 up and 2 downs, right? So of course what I'm going to, let's 1 up and 2 downs. 1 up and 2 downs. Okay, so we're going to take one of these and go poof, and make a little mass unit photon out of that. And then we're going to take this one and do the same thing, poof, but then that's going to turn into this because now it's even bigger. And there we have a neutron. Okay, so there's a proton. There's a neutron. There's an electron, which has charge, but no mass. And let's see, where's some of those quarks? Just for modeliness. There. That would be an up quark. There's a down quark. And instead of being fractional charges, I say it makes much more sense to me to look at it as axes of charge. And then electron has all 3 axes of charge. And this is there's a weird neutron thing, because you take a neutron, which was, okay, wait, let's build a neutron again. Sorry, this is getting longer. Okay, neutron is 1 up and 2 downs, right? So this is a neutron. I only see 4 pieces of charge here. 1 up and 2 down. There's 3 quarks, but I only see 2, 4, 6 pieces of charge. They cancel out. That all cancels out and makes a neutron. But if a neutron decays, you get a proton and an electron and a neutrino, but we won't talk about that right now because that's a little bit of a different thing. Okay, we're talking about charge. So a neutron only takes 6 pieces of charge to get made, but when it falls apart, you get 2, 4, 6. 12. And if this decayed, well, we won't let that decay. But still, it's like, that sort of doesn't make sense, which is why I just think that we need to think of them more as processes. You know, this whole thing with the charge. Oh, no. There we go. Okay. So anyway, so that's the video. There's a neutron in my little model. There's a proton, but doesn't this make more sense? These fractional charges with these U's and these V's. This is something that kids can understand. It's like, oh, there's an electron. It's got charge, but it's got no mass. It's got nothing in the middle, nothing holding it. This is a proton. It's got some mass, plus it got some charge. A positron would be this with yellow balls all around it. I mean, not a positron. A positron would be this, but blue. An anti-proton would be this, but these yellow, because that, but these are antimatter things. And an anti-neutron is still just a neutron, because hard to tell. Anyways, so this is my renovation of sort of quark constructions, and a way that I think makes a lot more sense if we were trying to tell kids how to make things. It's like science.